Okay, so this is going to serve as a really brief introduction to a C++ programming tutorial series, and I've coined it C++ and everything in between. And the reason being is because we're going to learn the C++ programming language, but we're also going to learn some of the nitty-gritty details like how data types are represented in binary, how C++ compiles to machine code, how it stacks up against other programming languages and stuff like that. And I really want to target this course for anyone from a beginner to an advanced programmer. I think if you are an advanced developer, especially in C++, you probably won't find this course useful until later on. And on the opposite end of things, if you're a beginner and you haven't programmed a thing in your life, that's totally okay. You should still be able to follow along. You may have to Google things along the way. But that being said, I am going to be posting links to videos and articles in the description below on behalf of beginners. That way, if there's a topic or something I talk about or a term that you don't understand, hopefully those videos will cover it and you can kind of use it as a prerequisite to the lesson. And you can read those and watch those before and after. But again, if there's anything that those videos don't cover that you don't understand, my best recommendation would just be to Google it. And as long as you have a willingness to learn, you should totally be okay. So, what is a programming language? A programming language is essentially a set of instructions that humans write that we basically feed to a computer that tells it what to do and how to do something. And so programming languages are really used to construct software, and by software that can be anything from a mobile app, like you probably have Facebook or Twitter or Instagram on your phone. Those are all examples of software. Someone used a programming language to create those, to write those, or a team of people rather created that software. And then software can also be something simple as like an operating system on your computer. You probably have software in your car, like a lot of the touchscreen dashboards that a lot of modern cars have nowadays. And even there's a lot of embedded programming as well, and stuff like robotics that you don't actually see, but that is being controlled by software. And so C++ is an example of a programming language. Now there's a lot of programming languages out there. C++ is just one of them. But the reason we're using C++ in this course is because it was one of the first object-oriented programming languages that made it big, and it's also used in such a wide array of applications and use cases. You can use C++ for mobile apps, you can use it for operating systems, you can use it for embedded hardware and software in automobiles, you can use it in machine learning. There's just so many different use cases out there for it. And if you're a beginner, C++ is such a good language to start with as your base language because a lot of syntax of other languages is based off of C++. So it is a great language to start with if you're a beginner. So basically how the course is going to go is there's going to be a beginner section, there's going to be an intermediate section, and then an advanced section. In the beginner section, we're basically just going to talk about all the foundational stuff. So we talk about stuff like data types, arrays, variables, different kinds of statements like conditional statements and loop statements. And again, if you're a beginner and you don't know what any of that means, don't worry. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to have lessons on all of that stuff. So don't feel frustrated if you don't understand that yet. In the intermediate section, we're going to jump more into the C++ library and object-oriented programming concepts like inheritance, creating objects, encapsulation, all that stuff. And then in the advanced section, we're going to get into a little bit deeper into the C++ library, and then we're going to start thinking about software systems at a larger scale and how we can apply concepts we've learned earlier to larger software systems as we start building those out. And we'll include things like exception handling, and then we'll start thinking about reusability, sustainability, all that stuff of these larger software systems. And then I think there's going to be a little part at the end too where we kind of talk about the odds and ends of C++, so kind of the less known tools that industry developers don't use day to day. And then I have beyond there at the bottom, that being because if there's anything that we don't cover, so some probably more advanced topics like encryption, multi-threading, and networking, I'm gonna extend the course a little bit and cover those as well, just because I think they are important topics to know. And so the overarching goal of this course really is just to learn the C++ programming language. And then it's kind of a proof of concept that we've learned the language. We're gonna build a cryptocurrency library, kind of just like Bitcoin. I think it's going to be in quite an overwhelming task at first, but I think as long as we really get all the concepts of C++ down, all the foundational stuff, I think we should be able to do it. And I might end up separating that out into a separate course. But I think that's going to be a good goal just to shoot for in the end. So I don't want to make this video too long since it is just an introduction, so I'm going to kind of wrap it up there. I'll see you in the first episode where we will set up our development environment and get everything ready for the course.